There was another really great scene in the movie The Lincoln Lawyer. Again, I think we're talking about 2011, Matthew McConaughey. Michael Pena was in it. He plays an accused who I think is, there's kind of a flashback in the movie without trying to give away too many spoilers. There's a scene in that movie, Brandy, which you can probably relate to. We deal with Measure 11 here in Oregon. And tell me how does Measure 11 impact sort of that being sort of a big elephant in the room? How does that affect your ability to negotiate a plea?
Well, when someone's charged with a Measure 11, it typically means that they are going to, if they choose to go to a jury trial and lose, they are going to be sentenced to a specific amount of time. That amount of time is, you don't get gain time, it's not treated like regular prison time, so you are serving day for day. The state knows that. So if they lose at trial, the judge's discretion on probation or this option or that option is gone. And now they are looking at a very, very narrow window of sentencing that the judge can give them.
And it was interesting in this movie that we don't have the death penalty anymore in practice. It's not legally enforced in Oregon. But in the movie in California, they were still supposedly, at least in the movie, the death penalty was on the table. And so there's a real emotional scene talking to a client about whether or not to take a plea deal, because the death penalty is on the table if there's a trial and a conviction after a trial, or a life sentence if there's a plea negotiation. And you can just imagine, if you were the accused, having to plead guilty to something you didn't do because you were so literally deathly afraid of the death penalty. And we have that here in, like you're saying, in Oregon with Measure 11. You might be innocent, but the question is, are you willing to gamble 150 months in prison, serve every day of it, or 75 months in prison, serve every day of it, when you might be offered a plea deal that's a felony, but you're just, you're so concerned about what happens if I get convicted at trial. And the prosecutors, unfortunately, know this.
Absolutely.
So they really throw it around. They really weaponize it to the point where, you're really playing chicken with a freight train.
It's absolutely picking the lesser of two really crappy choices sometimes when you're charged with a Measure 11. The reality is, just going to trial on that, people tend to have too much on the line. They have families, jobs. It's a big gamble. And unfortunately, a lot of people plea out to crimes to avoid, that hanging over their head if they went to trial.